Ever thought about what it really takes to be a physiotherapist? I mean, not just the textbook stuff, but the real deal. The skills, the personality, that day-to-day of helping people heal. Well, that's what we're diving into today with this fascinating report from the Life Skill Foundation. It's specifically designed for, well, anyone really who's curious about this whole hands-on health career.
And what's really cool is that this report, it's like they're talking directly to you, like students, especially those in grades, 8 through 12, those who are starting to think about their futures and what they want to do.
Yeah, it's like they knew exactly what we needed to talk about.
Right. But it's not just for them. Parents, teachers, anyone who's a part of that journey, this is for you too.
It's true. Life Skill Foundation, they're based in Ahmedabad, India, and they're all about empowering young people, giving them the tools to make those big life choices. And they're making a real impact, reaching students all across the country. So, okay, let's get into it. Why did they even create this report in the first place?
So their whole thing is about making career paths crystal clear. And they know healthcare, especially physiotherapy, it's something a lot of students are curious about, but maybe don't fully get. So this report, it's like their way of pulling back the curtain and showing you what it really takes to make it in this field.
It's like a backstage pass to physiotherapy.
Yeah.
And they jump right in, don't they? What is a physiotherapist? But they go way beyond the basic definition.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They hit you with the impact right away. Physiotherapists, they're the ones helping people recover from injuries, manage pain, get back to moving the way they should. It's all about restoring function, helping people live their best lives.
They're like, what do you call them? Movement detectives. They figure out what's going wrong and then, bam, find ways to fix it. And with everyone getting older, more aware of their health these days, this profession, it's in high demand, not just in India, but globally.
Absolutely. And the report, it really stresses that. Skilled physiotherapists, they're needed now more than ever. They even give you the numbers. Projected job growth over the next decade, 17%, way higher than average. That kind of job security, that's a big deal.
It's huge. But here's where it gets even more interesting. They don't just focus on the sciencey parts. They talk about personality, those Holland codes. Social and realistic, those are the key traits for any aspiring physiotherapist.
Which makes total sense when you think about it. Social folks, they're all about helping others, making connections, working together. And a physiotherapist, they need those skills to really connect with their patients, understand what they're going through, and create that supportive environment for healing.
It's not just about fixing bodies, it's about that human connection.
Exactly. And then there's the realistic side. Physiotherapists, they're practical, down-to-earth problem solvers. They use their hands, their knowledge to assess, adapt, and make things happen. It's about taking what you learn and putting it into action.
So you're not stuck in a lab somewhere. You're out there, in the thick of it, helping people regain their movement, their independence. The report even breaks it down into job zones. They start you off in job zone 1, fresh out of school, probably assisting a more senior physiotherapist.
Yeah, like an apprenticeship, right? You're soaking everything up, learning the ropes from someone with experience. They really highlight how important mentorship is in those early years.
Totally. You're building that foundation.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there, does it?
Oh, no way. As you grow, you might find you want to specialize. The report mentions sports physiotherapy, helping athletes recover, or orthopedics, focusing on bones, muscles, joints. There's even neurophysiotherapy, which is all about the brain and nervous system.
So many cool options. And as you specialize, gain experience, you move up to job zone 3, the mid-level. More responsibility, maybe leading a team, handling cases on your own.
Exactly. You're building your reputation, becoming the go-to person for your specialty. And then for those who are super ambitious, they've got job zone 5, the top tier.
Now, this is where it gets really exciting.
You could be running a whole department, maybe even open your own practice, shaping the future of physiotherapy through teaching or research. I love that the report shows just how many different paths you can take in this field.
From eager newbie to the big boss. Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
But what do physiotherapists actually do all day? The report actually gets into the nitty-gritty, and it's way more than just exercises.
It's like a multi-pronged approach, really. They talk about manual therapy, which includes things like massage and mobilization, where you're using your hands to loosen muscles and get joints moving better.
So it's pretty hands-on, literally.
100%.
Right.
And then there's therapeutic exercises, each one tailored to what that specific patient needs, to build strength, improve balance, get them moving properly again. And we can't forget about electrotherapy.
Electrotherapy. Sounds kind of futuristic.
It's pretty cool. They use things like ultrasound to bring down inflammation, electrical stimulation for pain relief, and to get those muscles firing, even laser therapy to help speed up healing.
Wow, it's like they've got a whole arsenal of tools ready to go.
They do. But the key, as the report stresses, is knowing which approach or combination of approaches is going to be best for each patient. Every person's different with their own needs and goals. It's that personalized care that I think is so amazing.
It's like being a movement detective and a high-tech healer all in one.
Exactly. And they highlight that physiotherapy, it's not about just fixing the immediate problem. It's about preventing future injuries, helping people stay healthy and active for the long haul.
They're invested in their patients' well-being, not just a quick fix. Now let's talk myths. The report does a great job of busting some common misconceptions about physiotherapy.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts. Like, a lot of people think physiotherapy is just for athletes, right?
Yeah, I used to think that too.
Right. But the report sets the record straight. Physiotherapists, they work with everyone. Babies with developmental delays, seniors recovering from surgery, you name it.
So whether you're a marathon runner with a sprained ankle or a grandparent who wants to regain their strength, physiotherapy can help.
Exactly. Another myth they tackle is that it's all about exercise. And sure, exercise is a big part of it, but it's not the only tool in the box. Remember all those techniques we talked about? Manual therapy, electrotherapy, it's a holistic approach, addressing the whole person.
So it's about understanding how everything in the body connects and using all these different approaches to get to the root of the problem, not just mask the symptoms. That's pretty impressive. Speaking of impressive, the report doesn't shy away from the practical stuff either. Education, career progression. That's super helpful for all our student listeners out there.
Yeah, they lay it all out there, step by step, starting with high school, choosing the right subjects.
Science stream, here we come.
You got it. Biology, physics, chemistry. Those are the building blocks for understanding how the human body works.
And then comes the big decision, applying to a Bachelor of Physiotherapy program, the BPT.
Which, as the report points out, is no walk in the park. It's a 4.5-year full-time commitment with intense academic study, A&D, hands-on clinical experience through internships. They even mention that most BPT programs require at least a 50% score in your 12th grade science subjects to even apply.
So you need the brains, A&D, the dedication to make it. But wait, there's more. You get that BPT degree, then what?
Time to make it official. You'll need to register with the Indian Association of Physiotherapists. That's super important for practicing legally and ethically. Think of it like getting your driver's license, but instead of hitting the road, you're helping people get back on their feet.
I love that analogy. Makes it
Yeah.
so much clearer. And speaking of clear, let's talk about something I know is on everyone's mind. Money.
Ah, yes, the age-old question. What's a physiotherapist actually earn?
The report doesn't leave us hanging, does it?
Not at all. They dedicate a whole section to salary expectations, which is super helpful for anyone wondering if all that hard work is worth it financially. And spoiler alert, it totally is.
Get me with the numbers.
For someone just starting out, fresh out of BPT, you're looking at around $15,000 to $30,000 per month. Not a bad starting point at all. But as you gain experience, specialize, climb those job zones, your earning potential goes way up.
Music to my ears. So we're talking about, what, 30,000 to 50,000 per month for those mid-level positions?
You got it. And those at the top of their game, managing departments or running their own practice, we're talking upwards of 50,000 to 1,000 per month, maybe even more if you factor in bonuses or earnings from your own practice.
Not too shabby at all. Sounds like all that hard work really pays off.
It definitely does. And remember, those figures are just for India. The report also talks about the huge demand for physiotherapists globally, especially in places like Canada, Australia, the UK.
Wait, so you're saying this could be my ticket to an international career? That's amazing. But
Uh,
what about those of us who love the idea of physiotherapy, but maybe aren't ready to commit to a full-blown BPT program? Does the report offer any other paths?
Absolutely. They have a whole section on similar occupations, which I think is fantastic because it encourages you to explore and shows that there are tons of different ways to work in health and wellness.
Okay, spill the beans. What are some of these alternative routes?
Well, they talk about occupational therapists who help people participate in everyday activities that might be difficult after an illness, injury, or disability. They also mention sports trainers who work specifically with athletes to prevent and manage injuries.
Those sound like incredible careers, too.
They really are. And then there are chiropractors who focus on the diagnosis and treatment of musculoskeletal disorders, and massage therapists who use touch to work on muscles and soft
It's
tissues.
like a whole universe of possibilities within healing and movement.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, a lot of these fields overlap, which opens up opportunities to collaborate and learn from each other.
So you could start as a physiotherapist and then branch out, specialize in something super specific, or even combine your skills to create a totally unique career path that fits your passions.
Exactly. It's about finding what you're good at and making your mark in this field that's always growing and changing.
This is so inspiring. And it really highlights how important research is, really understanding your options.
Couldn't agree more. It's not just about jumping into the first career that sounds interesting, right? It's about doing your homework, figuring out what really excites you, and making a choice that aligns with your values, your interests, and your long-term goals. That's where resources like this report from the Life Skill Foundation are so invaluable.
They've done the hard work, put all this incredible information in one place. It's like a roadmap to a fulfilling career in physiotherapy and beyond.
Absolutely. It's about empowering you to create the future you want.
So whether you're a student dreaming about a career in healthcare, a parent supporting your child's ambitions, or just someone who's curious about the world of physiotherapy, this report is a must-read. And don't worry, we'll be diving even deeper into this fascinating field after a quick message. Stay tuned.
And we're back. Still digging into the world of physiotherapy with this awesome report from the Life Skill Foundation. Before the break, we were talking about all the different paths you can take in this career and that impressive earning potential. But it's not all about the money, right?
Oh, definitely not. This is about making a real difference in people's lives, helping them get back their mobility, deal with pain, and actually achieve those physical goals.
It's about giving people that power, to live their lives to the fullest. And you know what I found really interesting? The report emphasizes how important those soft skills are, not just the technical stuff.
Okay, break it down for me. What kind of soft skills are we talking about here?
Communication, for one. Big time. Physiotherapists, they got to be able to explain things, sometimes complex stuff, in a way that their patients understand. But it's not just about talking. It's about listening, too. Really paying attention to what their patients are saying, their concerns, their fears, and then being that source of support and encouragement throughout the whole recovery process.
So it's not just about knowing the right exercises, it's about connecting with your patients on a human level.
Exactly. Empathy, patience, that genuine desire to help, those are all crucial. And then there's critical thinking, problem solving.
Makes sense. Every patient is different, so you can't just have a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. You got to be able to look at each patient, figure out what they need, come up with a plan that works for them, and be ready to adjust if things change. It's about being adaptable, resourceful, and never backing down from a challenge.
Sounds like you have to be a scientist and a bit of an artist, all rolled into one.
I like that. There's definitely some creativity involved in physiotherapy, especially when you're designing those treatment plans. And speaking of creativity, the report actually has some really great tips for students who are just starting to explore their options.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of advice do they give?
They're all about being proactive. Don't just stick to Google searches, Reach out to actual physiotherapists in your area.
Shadow them, ask them questions, get a real feel for what the day-to-day is like.
That's it. And they're big on volunteering or interning in healthcare settings.
Hands-on experience, that's where it's at. Reading about it is one thing, but being there, working with patients, seeing the impact firsthand, there's no replacement for that.
Totally agree. And they also remind you that learning doesn't stop after you graduate. Continuing education, that's key in this field. It's always changing.
So you're always learning new things, refining your skills, staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. It's a lifelong journey. And the report highlights some really interesting ways to keep learning, like conferences, workshops, online courses. They even talk about those specialized certifications you can get. Boosts your credibility, opens up new opportunities, all that good stuff.
It's like leveling up in a video game, but with real-life skills and knowledge. Now, let's talk about something I know is on a lot of people's minds. Students, A&D parents. The cost. Pursuing any career, especially in healthcare, that's a financial commitment.
Definitely a big factor. But good news, the report tackles this head-on, gives you a realistic look at the financial side of this career path. They break down the average cost for those BPT programs in India, which of course can vary a bit depending on the school, whether it's government or private, all that.
Super helpful to know. So, ballpark, what are we talking about?
Well, for a government college, a BPT program will probably run you somewhere between 20,000 to here 50,000 per year. Private colleges, a bit pricier, more like 1,000 to 1,000 per year.
Yeah, that's quite a spread. But they don't just hit you with the numbers and leave you hanging, do they? What about financial aid, scholarships?
Oh yeah, they got you covered. They highlight a bunch of scholarships, both from the government and private groups, specifically for physiotherapy students, and even education loans to help manage those costs. Making this dream career a reality for everyone, no matter their background, that's what it's about.
I love that they're so upfront about this stuff. Shows they really care about setting students up for success, not just professionally, but financially, too. But it's not all logistics and numbers, right? The report really digs into what makes physiotherapy so rewarding, so fulfilling.
They get it. They understand the impact physiotherapists have on their patients, and it goes beyond just the physical. It's about restoring hope, giving people back their confidence, their independence, powerful stuff.
Being that guiding light for someone going through a tough time, an injury, illness, disability, that's a pretty amazing gift to give.
It really is. And they share these amazing stories of real-life physiotherapists making a difference in their communities. It reminds you that this is more than just a job. It's a passion, a way to make a real, lasting impact.
It's about being a healer, a motivator, someone who champions their patients. And the report does a great job showing all the different places physiotherapists work. Hospitals, clinics, sports teams, rehab centers, you name it.
It's a career path with endless possibilities. You can really explore, specialize, grow. And whether you're drawn to working with athletes, kids, seniors, people recovering from specific injuries, whatever it is, the heart of physiotherapy stays the same. Assess, treat, empower.
So what does this all mean for those of you listening who are intrigued but maybe still have some questions, some doubts?
Don't let those questions stop you. The Life Skill Foundation, they've got your back. The report ends with a really clear message. Reach out.
I love that. They're practically begging you to pick their brains.
Exactly. Go to their website, shoot them an email, connect on social media, whatever it takes. They want to answer your questions, give you guidance, help you navigate this amazing career path.
It's like having your own personal cheer squad.
And we're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into all things physiotherapy. We've covered so much ground, from the ins and outs of what physiotherapists do to that incredible impact they have on their patients' lives.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? And I think it's become clear that physiotherapy, it's more than just a job. It's a calling. Totally. This isn't just about knowing the body, the muscles, the bones. It's about really connecting with people, understanding their struggles, and then giving them the tools to regain that mobility, that independence.
It's about being that support system, offering encouragement, sharing your expertise, especially during those times when patients are struggling, maybe even feeling a bit lost. The report, it really gets that human element, you know?
And that's what makes it so much bigger than just a paycheck. It's about going out there and making a real difference, one person at a time.
Absolutely. Improving lives, restoring that sense of hope, helping people see what they're truly capable of. And I love that this report, it doesn't just tell you about the feel-good stuff. It gives you the knowledge, the resources to actually go after it.
Right. They lay it all out there.
Hmm.
Start with the right classes in school. Think about what you might want to specialize in. Even how to manage the financial side of things. They've really thought of everything.
And they don't just leave you hanging once you've read the report. Remember, they're practically begging you to reach out. Any questions, any concerns, they want to hear from you. They're invested in your success.
Talk about support.
Yeah.
It's like having a whole cheering section behind you.
Hmm.
So for anyone listening who's feeling that spark, who's ready to take that first step towards a career in physiotherapy, what's the big takeaway?
Don't be afraid to dive in, do your research, talk to people, ask all the questions. The Life Skill Foundation, they're a phenomenal resource, but they're not the only ones. There are so many organizations, experienced professionals who are passionate about this field and want to help the next generation.
It's a journey like anything else worth doing. And every journey, well, it starts with a single step. So whether you're just dipping your toes in or you're ready to go all in on physiotherapy, remember, you're not alone.
There's a whole community of people who are just as passionate about this field, and they're ready to welcome you, offer guidance, and be there every step of the way. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one inspiring the next generation.
Now, wouldn't that be something? Well, that about wraps things up for us today. A huge thank you to the Life Skill Foundation for sparking this incredible conversation.
It's been amazing exploring this field with you all. Such rewarding and impactful work.
Until next time, stay curious, keep those bodies moving, and never stop chasing those dreams. And don't forget, you can find all the info for the Life Skill Foundation in our show notes. They'd love to hear from you.